So, have you ever stopped to think that maybe your body is more than just, well, a collection of parts? What if it's actually a vibrant field of energy? In this explainer, we're going to dive deep into the ideas from The Aura of Life, a text that explores exactly that, from this concept of an ancient life force all the way down to what it calls cellular vitality. So, let's get into it.
Right off the bat, the source hits us with this powerful idea. It's basically challenging us to see ourselves differently, not just as physical machines, but as this energetic symphony. That single perspective shift is the key to unlocking everything else we're about to talk about. Okay, so our first stop on this journey is this idea of an invisible but totally essential energy. The text calls it an ancient wisdom, like a dragon's whisper, this idea of unseen currents that literally give life to everything. What the text is saying here is that this biofield isn't just some poetic idea, it's the actual architect of our well being. The concept is that there is an energetic blueprint that comes before our physical body. And what's wild is that this isn't a new idea at all. You see it in ancient cultures all over the world. They just had different names for it. For instance, if you look at ancient Vedic traditions, they called this energy prana. They saw it as the universal life breath, the fundamental force that animates the entire cosmos. And that includes us. And it wasn't just them. Over in traditional Chinese medicine, you find a very similar concept they call qi or qi. They see it as this vital force that flows through very specific energy channels in the body, which they call meridians, and the flow of that qi directly impacts your health. And this is where it all clicks together. You've got prana from the Vedic tradition and qi from Chinese medicine. Two different cultures, two different parts of the world, but both pointing to the exact same fundamental truth, that there's an invisible, flowing energy that's the very bedrock of life itself. Okay, so now let's zoom in. We're going from that big universal idea of a life force, and we're diving into how the source says it actually works inside our own bodies, right down at the cellular level. The text uses this brilliant analogy of a cellular symphony. Imagine your body as an orchestra with billions of cells. Each one of those cells is like a tiny little battery holding an electrical charge. That charge is what powers literally everything, every thought, every movement, every process. And this is the crucial part. When that charge gets low, the whole system, the entire orchestra, just gets weaker. So you might be asking, where does this cellular charge even come from? Well, the source adds another layer to the puzzle. It argues that our vitality, our energy, is directly tied to a very specific chemical process, how our bodies use hydrogen to create fuel. And that process brings us to something called ATP. The easiest way to think about ATP, as the text puts it, is as the energy currency for your cells. It's like the cash your body spends to get anything done. And the key to making a lot of that cash, according to the source, is having a really efficient hydrogen metabolism. I love this metaphor because it just makes it so clear. The text says that optimizing this process is like taking a weak, flickering ember and turning it into a powerful, bright, steady flame. It's really about shifting from low energy and inefficiency to this robust, sustained vitality, starting at the cellular level. Okay, so what does all this biological and energetic talk actually mean for us in our day-to-day lives? This next part shifts from the mechanics to the real, tangible benefits of what the text calls achieving energetic balance. Let's talk about hydration for a second. We all know we're supposed to drink water, right? But the source offers a much deeper way to look at it. It says true hydration isn't just about how much liquid you drink. It's about how efficiently your cells can use the hydrogen from that water. And when they do it well, you get something called cellular flexibility. To make this idea really stick, the text gives us this amazing image. Cellular flexibility is the difference between being a young sapling that can bend with the wind or an old brittle branch that just snaps under pressure. It's all about how resilient our body's tissues are. So when you get this energetic alignment right, the source claims it's not just one benefit. It's like a whole cascade of positive effects. We're talking more natural energy, better hydration and flexibility, smoother movement. It's really a holistic improvement, a restoration of your body's natural rhythm and balance. So the big question is, how do you actually do this? Well, this is where the text does something cool. It bridges these ancient ideas with some very modern approaches, and it introduces a specific technology as a way to work with these principles. It's called Sunrise, and the text describes it in these simplest terms possible. It's like a sophisticated battery charger for your cells.
The whole idea is to gently and non-invasively help restore that natural electrical charge that we were talking about earlier. Now, you've probably got questions, and the source actually lays out some of the common ones. What does it feel like? Well, apparently, it's a feeling of profound relaxation, almost like a deep meditation. The results aren't instant, they build up over time. And yeah, it can absolutely be combined with other practices like yoga or meditation to really enhance the effects. All right, let's bring this all home. Our final section is all about the practical takeaways, the stuff you can actually start to do to engage with these concepts yourself. But first, there's this one fascinating philosophical idea we need to touch on. The text suggests we stop thinking of time as a straight line and instead see it as a cosmic rhythm, an energy dimension. And the whole goal of the practices we're about to see is to consciously align our own personal energy with this universal pulse. And here's the how-to. The text calls them the 5 dragon trials, and they're presented as really simple, actionable ways to apply these ideas. You start with something like an aura awareness meditation to just tune in. Then you move to practical things like conscious hydration and rhythmic breathing. And it even suggests keeping an energy journal to track your own patterns. And the whole point of these trials, it's pretty simple, really. They're designed to be a bridge, to take you from just understanding these concepts in your head to actually feeling and experiencing them in your own body. They're basically tools for you to cultivate your own life force. This all comes together in a final piece of wisdom from the source, from a figure named Zoran. This quote really nails the core message. To really thrive, you first have to learn how to listen to the whispers of your own energy, because that's where the blueprint for your potential is. And so this explainer leaves us with one final question to think about. After all the ideas and the science, it all boils down to this. Are you paying attention? Are you actually listening?